There is a 4-point difference between them, so Frankie Watson needs to beat Hudson Cooper by at least one place by winning the race. Off we go. Is it going to be a good start for Watson? No, it's not. It's a perfect start for Hudson Cooper. He charges forward, and Hudson Cooper slams his way through from the second row of the grid, takes on Frankie Watson, and gets ahead immediately. So the fight for third in the championship is right on fever pitch.
And a lightning start there as well. I think Daniel Stevenson got away incredibly well there from that second row. They both seem to spur each other on somewhat there as they make their way through the right-hander for the first time. Wilson Dilks also getting away very strongly as they make their way through Ashby for the first time. And brilliant start there though from Hudson Cooper. Now can he control the race from the front here? We've got Wilson Dilks, Frankie Watson all right in there now as they make their way through towards boot for the first time. Dilks having a peek on the outside. I think he was trying to weigh up the move on the inside into boot there, but didn't quite work out for him.
You were right to suggest that there was a bike in the pits waiting to get started. It's William Round, so he is going to be at the very back of the field. He was going to be starting last anyway, so he's going out there for an extended test session by the look of it as he runs down at the back of the field. So there is no Tyler Humphreys, but the focus is on this pair of racers. Here comes Wilson Dilks trying to take on Hudson Cooper up to the inside line. It's going to be a late launch, but he gets there into Christmas. I wasn't sure if he was going to stop for the corner, but he does take the lead away, and now with the gap between Hudson Cooper and Frankie Watson at 4 points, they're going to finish the championship in a dead heat.
Wilson Dilks did very well there to make the pass stick, so they carried a lot of speed into Christmas. He had that one weighed up, so let's see what Hudson Cooper can do here. Can he fight back? Dilks, of course, will be keen to try and break away now. He's already started to pull a small gap, but the track, it's getting hot out there now. Grip potentially could be at a premium here, so Dilks has got to keep his composure as he makes his way out to the final corner. Cooper right in there in second place, and Frankie Watson keeping the pressure on him third. Dilks making his way up towards Christmas corner, 53.6, very fast start pace to this race, you would say. Frankie Watson, Daniel Stevenson a bit further behind, Joshua Herring, Ollie O'Gorman, Lucas King, Chloe Gleeson and Leo Hams having a close fight there. And of course Harry Rafferty, Ollie Everts and William Round, a little bit cut adrift there he is, so Round will concede the line. He sees the leaders coming through.
Just about Frankie Watson getting through there for third position without losing too much ground. Interestingly, Wilson Dilks lost a bit of ground though to Hudson Cooper. If it stays like this, Hudson Cooper will be third in the championship by 8 points. If Frankie Watson gets ahead of him, they will finish on a dead heat. So Frankie Watson could do with getting past Hudson Cooper and then going after Wilson Dilks as well. It's a big mission for Frankie Watson.
And here they come out to the final corner, so Wilson Dilks is trying to break away here. Let's have a look at the gap when they cross the line. Over they go, goes up to 0.6 of a second, so Wilson Dilks just trying to pull a few tenths here and there. He's got all eyes down the ahead of him now, just looking to try and look for the short way round, he would say, as peeking down the inside goes the number 14, and he makes the pass stick there. Great move there from Frankie Watson, although Cooper trying to fight back. Could there be something going on here into Ashby? Down the inside he goes, has a look, but has to bail out of that one. And again Watson goes wide out of the corner, keeps that momentum though, and Hudson Cooper determined to try and fight that place back.
So now in the fight for third position, they finish on a dead heat. It is so tight in this title fight, but it's going to come down to countback, and by my reckoning on countback, Hudson Cooper would get it based on his previous race performances with the victories earlier in the year. There's not been a race win for Frankie Watson in a race weekend. What he's been able to do though is be ultra consistent. That's what's kept Frankie Watson in the fight for third in the championship. But Hudson Cooper really needs to come back at him. Look at the gap that Frankie Watson's been able to pull. Cooper struggling on this lap.
If anything, actually, Frankie Watson really does seem to be motoring at this stage. 53.582. Cooper doing his best to keep that pace, but at the moment Frankie Watson, he is determined to try and close up on Wilson Dilks. He's using a lot of curb coming out of Ashby, and Frankie Watson absolutely charging here. He knows that this could be on for the lead, trying to close up on Wilson Dilks all the time. I'm going to be keen to see this lap time when Frankie Watson comes over the line in a moment, because he really is motoring, and Hudson Cooper doing his best to try and hold on in third place. Here they come down towards boot once again, and you can see the aggression from Frankie Watson really attacking those apexes as he goes over the line. So Dilks leading Watson second, the lap 53.091, so that's a blistering lap there from Frankie Watson, pulling nearly half a second on Wilson Dilks here, and he's going to try, I think, and maybe not just yet try and line him for a pass. Dilks, I think, just glanced over the shoulder. I think he knows that someone is closing up.
Frankie Watson's got to make this overtaking move if he wants third in the championship. Wilson Dilks has already secured second. He's not really in the battle for anything. Come on, Wilson, give me a break here, says Frankie. He really wants to get this third place in the championship. The only way to do it is to get ahead of Wilson. Wilson's racing for pride, but he wants another win. Frankie Watson wants third in the championship, and he could do so if he gets through for his first win of the season. As up on the inside, a nice little battle going on further back as well. That looks to me to be Josh Herring battling away with Dan Stevenson for fourth position. Those two riders having a really close race of it as well.
Wilson Dilks has responded to the pressure here. He's picked up the pace. He's up his own fastest lap of the race, but still Watson closing up here. Here comes the potential move into Christmas corner. Not quite close enough there for Frankie Watson to try and make a move. Here they come, heading down towards Inkermans. That camera angle gives you an idea of how off-cambered that section is at the top of the hill. Down the hill they go. And at the moment, Frankie Watson, he can certainly keep up with Wilson Dilks, but he can't find a way through at the moment. He's having a look on the outside, trying to get the outside sweep. Carrying the momentum now down towards... Is he going to try and line something up here in the boot, I wonder? Here he comes in towards the more technical part of the track. Has a peak on the inside. Hasn't quite got the momentum to get the drive on the inside into boot, which I think he was trying to do. Here he comes through the boot. And there's that battle a little bit further behind there as the leaders make their way out to the final corner. And Frankie Watson tailing onto the back wheel of Wilson Dilks. Here they are neck and neck coming through. Bolivian, here they come. Up the hill towards Christmas corner. And Frankie Watson trying to line something up down the inside. He's late on the brakes, but can't quite make it.
He's got time. He just doesn't need to rush it. There's 7 laps remaining in this one, and he's clearly got the measure of Hudson Cooper. Whatever you do, Frankie, don't overcook it. We've seen a couple of moments this weekend where he's had the chance to go for the lead. He's gone too hot into Christmas and he's run wide and not been able to recover from it. You've got time. Let Wilson Dilks do all the hard work. All you've got to do is just sit behind him, put him under pressure, wait until he makes a mistake, then you can make the move almost without even trying. Look at the defensive line from Wilson Dilks. Frankie Watson putting him under massive pressure, but this is critical. As far as Frankie Watson is concerned, he knows just what's at stake here to try and get ahead of Wilson Dilks. Look at Hudson Cooper dropping back. He's got to be careful, Hudson Cooper, that he doesn't lose more time, because Stevenson and Herring are having a great fight for fourth position. He can lose out to them. Here we go. This is Frankie Watson's best chance yet. Up to the inside line. Can he finish it off? Yes, he can. Frankie Watson takes back the lead, but now Wilson Dilks is coming straight back at him. Up towards Ashby. Can he sling it back up the inside? Yes, he does. Frankie Watson's got to react well on the exit. Can he outsprint him? Yes, he can. Brilliant from Frankie Watson.
Yeah, Frankie Watson had to be strong there because Wilson Dilks did very well to square the turn-off going out of Minkermans down towards Ashby. Just about ran out of road, so rest assured here that Wilson Dilks will be determined not to give that lead up lightly. Question is here, has Frankie Watson shown his hand a bit too soon here, I wonder? He's not going to be too worried about that, though, of course. We're looking... Oh, dear me.
No.
Frankie Watson
collides.
No, the front end washed out on him there, and Dilks with nowhere to go went straight into him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the front wheel washing out on... yeah, just...
Both of them gone. We need to see that again.
So that means Hudson Cooper, of course, takes the lead all on his own. Will the race continue? Because there was a lot of incidents on the track there. So Hudson Cooper leads the way, though he has eased off here. So
that's third place ever. I think we're red flags, you know.
Yeah,
that's such a horrible way to end it. Yeah, red flags.
Bit unfortunate there for Frankie Watson. Just coming through that left-handed part of the kink, the front end just seemed to wash away on him. And the unfortunate Wilson Dilks had nowhere to go, piled straight into him, got stuck under the bike there. So let's hope he's all right as well. So Hudson Cooper will take the lead of the race, of course, with the red flag coming out. So 5 laps to go. One would imagine they'll just run that race to completion as soon as we get the all clear.
It's a tricky one to know if they'll restart it or not, isn't it? Because you've not got many riders left, of course, because a couple of them are pulled out. And, well, they are going to form up together on the back straight. So it's going to be Hudson Cooper that will take that. Let's look at it. Right, let's see. On the brakes. Here we go. Let's look at it. Just washes out underneath him. And look, Wilson Dilks is too close to him. Nothing he can do to get out of that. So unfortunate. The two leaders coming together, with Frankie Watson obviously having his moment, and then Wilson Dilks no time to react to it whatsoever.
And we will get this restart underway. FIM MiniGP 160, the dash to the line here. 4 laps to go on your timing charts on the left-hand side of the screen. The start is going to be vitally important here. Hudson Cooper will lead them away and absolutely blitzes the start. Looked like Daniel Stevenson a bit too much power on there, but he holds on to second place, but Hudson Cooper gets away very smoothly indeed. Stevenson fighting back up the hill into Christmas for the first time as Cooper makes his way through. It's a good clean start here as they make their way down the hill towards Ashby once again. Hudson Cooper getting the early drive on the field as, having a peek there was Joshua Herring on the inside going into Ashby, but Stevenson gets Stevenson getting a nice line out of Ashby there, and Hudson Cooper absolutely nailed the start here, but Stevenson has recovered very well.
Well, what were we saying? This is exactly what you need. The chance for a second go at the victory suddenly becomes possible as William Round has got going again by the look of it, so he clearly wants to try and finish the race if he can. But look how close now you've got Dan Stevenson and Josh Herring, very close to Hudson Cooper on this restart. You never know. That's the thing. You've just got to give it everything that you've got in the hope that you might just have something. If Cooper has a problem, then suddenly you've got Stevenson and Herring looking for the win. But whatever happens now, with Frankie Watson out of the race and not going to score, Hudson Cooper is going to be third in the points ranking.
I believe this is 3 laps to go now, and Cooper just starting to break away slightly at the end of that first lap. Down the hill he comes into Ashby, but Daniel Stevenson is hanging on in there. He just needs to get a good lap here, stay on the back wheel of Hudson Cooper and try and line him up for a pass. Of course, Cooper, for his part, he will know that he was running quite well before the race was stopped, and he's just looking to try and pick that pace up once again. It looks a bit further down like Ollie O'Gorman, Lucas King and Chloe Gleeson having their battle, and of course with that reshuffle in the pack they are now fighting it out for 4th position as Cooper very neatly takes his way through the boot. Down that final corner he goes, and still hanging on in there. In 2nd place, Daniel Stevenson, matching Cooper for pace, 0.7 of a second between the top 2 riders.
So Hudson Cooper out in 1st position, Dan Stevenson in 2nd place, Josh Herring in 3rd place, from Lucas King, Ollie O'Gorman and Chloe Gleeson. Again, a lot of personal bests as a result of the difficulties that we've seen earlier on in the race, and it just goes to show you, you've just got to keep it going right to the end. It doesn't matter necessarily if you've got the pace to win or not, you've just got to be there to play at the closing stages. Dan Stevenson a lot closer to Hudson Cooper than he was on the original race start. This is about momentum, and it's also about confidence. A second chance can be all that you need to bring something else out of the woodwork, and for Stevenson, he's just got to keep piling the pressure on Hudson Cooper. He's within a second. That's all you need to sometimes get under the skin of the rider you're battling with.
Now this should be this may be the last lap they're coming through, so we'll have a look at the flag marshal. Will be 2 laps to go possibly, but Cooper knows it's 2 laps, isn't it?
No, last lap, you're right. You were right.
Oh, a little bit squirrely there through Daniel Stevenson through Ashby. Cooper was looking over his shoulder there, so he does know that Stevenson's there, but Cooper just keeping his eyes down the track here and down the hill towards Ashby. Good restart here from Hudson Cooper. Daniel Stevenson making a fight of it here, so Hudson Cooper can't afford any kind of a mistake as he makes his way through Ashby. Stevenson 2nd, Lucas King, Ollie O'Gorman, Joshua Herring's dropped a little bit of pace there.
Yeah, he's gone down to 5th place.
And Chloe Gleeson 6th, Harry Rafferty, Leo Hams and Ollie Evitts, but a good ride so far for Hudson Cooper.
So Lucas King could well get a podium here to make up for the ignominy of his fall at Christmas in the earlier race. So that's going to be a very deserving podium for Lucas King. But here comes Hudson Cooper. He'll come out of the final couple of corners. The drama of this one, Frankie Watson was destined not to win or take 3rd in the championship. This man was. Hudson Cooper comes through, takes the checkered flag. He gets the win in front of Dan Stevenson. Look who's going to be 3rd though. Lucas King comes through for a very worthy podium finish after the difficulties of this weekend for him. Not bad at all. Ollie O'Gorman comes through for a very positive P4. And look who's going to be 5th. It's going to be Chloe Gleeson who comes home in P5 ahead of Harry Rafferty, Leo Hams and Ollie Evitts. Josh Herring had a problem in the closing stages then.
He's hit trouble there because he dropped like a stone on that final lap. I think he is still making his way around, his bit further around the track, running quite slowly at the moment, looking down on the inset towards the checkered flag to see if he'll complete the race here, but
don't think he will. Mechanical flags, mechanical problems have set in. This is what we were saying, you've got to get to the end of the race. You never know when trouble's going to strike, and it's that is William Round, I think, trying to come through and just finish off his race after what's been a tricky day at the office for him as well. So Hudson Cooper is 3rd in the championship with a fabulous win to finish off, and Dan Stevenson and Lucas King pick off some very unexpected but nonetheless deserving podium finishes.
And Hudson Cooper, he'll be pleased with that one. Of course, a bit of good fortune coming his way there, but he certainly took advantage of that. He had to work hard because Daniel Stevenson, in second place there, only half a second down. Lucas King in third from Ollie O'Gorman. Chloe Gleeson running out the top 5. Harry Rafferty, Leo Hams, Ollie Everts, Joshua Herring, a late retirement it would appear, William Round running out the top 10, and the unfortunate Wilson Dilks and Frankie Watson both failing to finish.